Hi, I'm Milton Rendell and welcome to Real News Friday. Spring is in the air. We're into the selling season. Spring traditionally attracts more interest than most other seasons during the year. People start getting work transfers and start planning for the following year. And I imagine it'll be exactly the same this year, though we've had an interesting year, as we all know. But what tends to happen now, gardens look at their best, and like I say, people start their planning. So the benefit this year compared to the previous couple of years is the buyer activity is definitely up to the best levels that we have seen for a number of years. And as we've been reporting in recent weeks and couple of months, is that the buyer activity is up and the sales is definitely occurring now. So this week, for statistics, 838 sales. House sales were up roughly 2%, unit sales were roughly about the same as previous week, land sales up 6%, stock levels were about 10,763, down about 2% where we were last week, about the same as we were a month ago, and 22% less stock than a year ago. So we're playing into an interesting market. Keeping in mind, like I just said, is that generally spring and going into the early part of summer tends to be a key time for selling. I know through the hills some of the best months do flow into January and even February, which surprises some people, but it tends to happen that way. But once again, people seem to be out and about in spring. I think well, obviously when there's more daylight hours, etc., people are more active and therefore start thinking about things more often. Apart from that, also we're in our economy, although they've announced Australia's in a recession. I think we all sort of knew that in any case, and we all expected that. But I think in West Australia that we have been moving along quite well in comparison to the rest of the country. And also speaking to other local business people, a number of people have picked up. But we've spoken about this previously, but I think that's certainly what's happening out there. On the rental market, the amount of stock out there, 3,206 properties still are currently on the market, which is down 3%. It's 10% less than 4 weeks ago and 51% down on 12 months ago. So that part of the market's still clicking along. People are still renting and buyer activity. So we've got a unique situation, like I may have described once before, as a bit of a perfect storm, which is fantastic for investors who are thinking come to the market knowing that properties will be tenanted, and also knowing that investors are slowly returning to the market as well. There's still a very good big push with first home buyers. We are seeing younger faces out there in the marketplace to what we've had in the past. So once again, seeing some really good trends. Just following up on the catalyst, in the coming week we'll have our first tenants moving into the new building, which is very, very exciting for the tenants, and it's overall been a very successful campaign attracting people to that. The interest for that has been very steady, and we're a third full, so we're now, once we move into the premises, we'll be able to potential tenants will be able to access the property better, and hopefully we'll have the roads open shortly, so that'll obviously make the people able to find the catalyst easier. Located in Junction Parade, which formerly is the eastern end of the avenue, up near Sayers Street, and for those who have lived in the area as long as I have and others, approximately where the Midland Tennis Courts used to be. So that'll give you a bit of a guide. We have been told that it's not popping up on Google Maps that well, so that's probably one of the challenges we have if people are looking to it, but certainly give us a call. But it's pretty hard not to see the building. Just drive towards Midland Gate, and on the left hand side as you're going up the Crescent you can definitely see it. So, and you can see it from Morrison Road. If you can't, I don't know. If you can't see it, there's a bit of a challenge. But it's a magnificent building, looks fantastic, and the feedback from the potential tenants has been sensational, to be honest, and people are looking and excited about the new lifestyle. It was a great celebration last week with the opening. We'll keep you up to date more on what's happening at Real Estate Plus on realestateplus.com.au.